世界のみんなとつながろう Bridges across world communities.
Hello everyone and welcome to Bridges Across World Communities, sponsored by NIA, the Nishinomiya City International Association. My name is Floyd.
And my name is Thelma. This program provides important information for English-speaking residents in the Nishinomiya area and is usually broadcast on the second Saturday of each month from 12 noon to 12:15.
This month we'll talk about Japanese slang that young people use in the Kansai area.
Our disaster prevention topic is guerrilla rainstorms.
And our guest is Mr. Vladislav Grigorenko from Canada.
提供は西宮市国際交流協会です。
Hello, Thelma. How are you coping with this hot and humid weather?
Not so well, Floyd. And not only is the heat brutal, but it started almost 3 weeks earlier, as usual this year. So we still have a lot of hot weather ahead of us to endure.
Ganbatte. Many of us foreign residents are still struggling to learn the Japanese language. And it can be frustrating to realize that the Japanese we hear native speakers use can be so different than the Japanese we've been learning in textbooks and language classes.
Yes, and that's true, and especially when compared to the way young people speak, right?
Now, that's because most of the Japanese we learn from textbooks is formal standard Japanese, and it tends to be more polite and uses little or no local slang.
Yeah, for example, the difference, let's listen to 2 recordings of a conversation between a couple of high school students talking about their part-time job. First, here's the standard Japanese version.
ちょっと聞いてください。昨日アルバイト先にとても仕事ができる人が入ってきました。仕事はすぐ覚えてルックスがとてもいいです。素敵です。
いいですね。そんな人がいたらモチベーションが上がりますね。私のアルバイト先はひどいです。昨日私は少しだけミスをしたらとても怒られました。とても腹が立ちます。しかもアルバイト代は最低賃金です。
うわ、本当ですか。それは大変ですね。
そうなんです。そして今日は新しいアルバイトの面接があります。前からやりたかった服屋の店員です。緊張しなければ合格できるかもしれません。
写真すごく可愛く写ってるね。合格できるんじゃないですか。頑張ってね。
Okay, well, that was a little fast for me, but I could understand most of it.
Good. Now, here's the same conversation using Kansai dialect with lots of local slang, Floyd.
聞いて。昨日馬先にガチで仕事的な人入ってきた。秒で仕事覚えるね。しかもイケメンで推しに似ててさ、マジでやばい。
えぐ、そんな人おったらめっちゃモチベ上がるやん。うちの馬先はろくな人おらんわ。昨日もちょっとミスしただけでキレてきたし、マジでムカつく。バイト代最低賃金やし。
うわ、マジで終わってるな。
せやねん。で、今日新しいバイトの面接やねん。前からやりたかったショップの店員なんやけど、緊張せんかったらワンチャン受かる。
めっちゃ漏れてるやん。ウケる。ギリいけるんちゃん。ガンバ。
What the hell? I couldn't understand any of that. We have our producer, Mariko, here. She's a native Kansai speaker. You use a lot of slang, don't you, Mariko?
Yeah, I do.
Maybe you could go over some of those words for us.
Sure. ちょっと。やねん、なんです。やん、じゃないですか。場先、アルバイト先、part-time job place。ガチ、本気、really。仕事ができる人、good at work。秒で、一瞬で、in a minute。イケメン、good looking。推し、favorite。マジで、本当に、really。やばい、and えぐい。Anything from awesome to oh no。motivation。おらん、いない。There is no。切れる、to lose temper。ムカつく、get frustrated。終わってる。No hope.
That's like no hope.
one chance, abbreviation one chance, meaning possibly. めっちゃ very.
I know that one.
Yeah. 漏れてる to make one look better. 受ける really funny. ギリ meaning barely. いける things would go well. And ガンバ abbreviation of 頑張って。
Wow, that's a lot of slang and abbreviations. This is really hard to follow.
Yeah, so surprising, isn't it? Now let's listen to the Kansai dialect slang version of the conversation one more time.
Okay.
聞いて、昨日馬先にガチで仕事の人入ってきた。秒で仕事覚えるねん。しかもイケメンで推しに似ててさ、マジでやばい。
えぐ、そんな人おったらめっちゃモチベ上がるやん。うちの馬先はろくな人おらんわ。昨日もちょっとミスしただけで切れてきたし、マジでムカつく。バイト代最低賃金やし。
うわ、マジで終わってるな。
せやねん。で、今日新しいバイトの面接やねん。前からやりたかったショップの店員なんやけど、緊張せんかったらワンチャン受かる。
めっちゃ漏れてるやん。ウケる。ギリいけるんちゃん。ガンバ。
Well, I could understand a little bit more that time, but not much. But it gives me a better idea about some of the Japanese slang that young people are using in Kansai these days.
Yeah, words evolve, and slang in particular tends to quickly become obsolete. So it may not be sound strange when spoken by young people or native Japanese speakers, but it might be sound weird when used by non-native speakers or even Japanese adults. It can be unnatural and sound very childish.
Yeah, I guess especially in the workplace or when speaking with superiors. It's always safer to use formal standard Japanese learned from textbooks because then there's less risk of rudeness.
Yeah, so it's good to understand some slang, but maybe it's better not to use it.
Well, if I was hanging around with a bunch of young people all the time, I'd be sure to learn and use as much of it as possible.
Yeah, what's really interesting about understanding slang is that it's not just about words and language, but also about understanding the culture of those using it.
That's a good point. Now, if our listeners would like to find out more, please Google, that means kind of search Google, by entering Japanese young people slang.
7.7 Sakura FM.
And we'd like to welcome this month's guest, Vladislav Grigorenko. Welcome.
Hi Floyd, how are you doing?
Pretty good. Do you mind if I call you Vlad?
Yeah, that's better.
That's better. Okay, it'll be easier for me too.
Yeah.
So you're in the top of the show. We mentioned that you were from Canada. Whereabouts are you from?
I live in Whitehorse, Yukon Territory, which is northern.
Nice balmy climate up there.
Yeah, it's enjoyable if you're up to it.
So I'm joking with the balmy. Winter temperatures, what do you get up there in Yukon?
It depends. Usually it doesn't go below 20. Maybe sometime in February for around 2 weeks we have extreme cold, like around minus 30. But that's manageable because it's not humid.
What are summers like?
Summers are hot, actually, and lots of mosquitoes. It's our camping season, so outdoor season, so everyone is basically outside, and plus tourism season, all the hotels are occupied, and people work and earn money, prepare for winter.
So, this is, you're from the Yukon, but you've probably been to other parts of Canada before moving up there. But where else did you experience?
So my first year was in Toronto, then 2 years in Niagara Falls, and then 2 years in Vancouver, and then in 2019 I ended up in Yukon.
Oh, so you've seen a lot of the country then.
Yeah and no, because the country is so big and I still haven't explored maybe half of it.
So where did you come from before moving to Canada? Where were you living?
Originally, I'm from Ukraine. I was born in Donetsk, eastern Ukraine.
Wow. Okay. Well, we keep things light on the show, so we won't get into any of the politics, what's going on there, but it's very difficult, I think, for everybody seeing that. So now you've been in Japan for how long now?
I think it's my 7th month or something. I arrived on New Year's Eve. December 30th or something.
So on your bio, I was reading that you're actually the CEO of a volunteer. I don't know how to pronounce it. Benevoles Yukon?
It's Volunteer Bénévole Yukon. Bénévole is a French word for volunteer because we're in Canada, are bilingual English-French.
Okay, so but you're CEO of a organization in Yukon, but you're living in Japan. How do you do that?
I'm the executive director. It's a bit different than CEO. Executive director is basically a CEO of a non-profit organization. Since I started, I was able to modernize the organization to facilitate remote administration.
That's handy.
Yeah, so I can take calls from Yukon here with no additional charge for people from the Yukon or for myself. Like I can have meetings online. The biggest problem is the time difference. So if I need to attend any important meeting with our funders or government or other stakeholders around noon Yukon time, means I need to stay here until 3 in the morning.
Right. Which must be difficult for your family here.
Yeah, well, that's manageable. I guess that's the sacrifice.
Do you have a lot of things happening, like a lot of projects happening at the same time there?
We have many projects that are ongoing, like volunteer engagement, volunteer recruitment, and support for other local nonprofit organizations. But I'm going back to Canada for another big event in September, which is Education, Career, and Volunteer Expo that we host annually with our other partners.
So it sounds a little bit like your organization kind of matches up people want to volunteer, or volunteer groups with people looking for volunteers? Is that
Yeah,
correct?
exactly. We help volunteers to find volunteer opportunities, and we help nonprofit organizations and other community groups or sport groups to find volunteers. And we provide resources, training opportunities, and other tools and best practices.
Are there any projects you're especially proud of being involved with?
There are many of the projects. Probably one of the biggest, it's a program that I developed in partnership with another organization called Learn by Volunteering, where local community organizations and businesses can bring volunteers that are newcomers to the Yukon from other countries to learn on the job skills, improve their English skills, and integrate into the community, basically.
Sounds like a lot to happen up there. I mean, it sounds like the economy is relies a lot on, I guess, tourism and what else up there?
Yeah, tourism, hospitality, those are the biggest one. Then mining also. Yeah, but lots of local businesses depend on newcomers and immigrants.
Yeah, we'll have to pick this up again next month. We're already out of time. This month has gone awfully fast, but thanks for joining us, and we'll pick this up, the second part, next month.
Thank you.
防災情報です。
Once again, it's that time of year to watch out for guerrilla rainstorms.
What the heck is a guerrilla rainstorm?
Good question. A guerrilla rainstorm is a heavy rain or downpour that exceeds 100 millimeter per hour for a short period of time in a small localized area. Sometimes it'll be sunny 1 minute, then start pouring with rain the next.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, it is. And a guerrilla rainstorm can cause massive damage in less than an hour. Rising rivers can leave people stranded or even sweep them away. And excessive rainwater can flood underground malls and subway stations.
So what can we do to protect ourselves from guerrilla rainstorms?
Absolutely nothing. No. Before going out, you should always check the latest weather information and pay close attention if the forecast is for unstable atmospheric conditions.
Also, when you're outside, keep an eye on the sky, and if dark clouds suddenly appear overhead, or you hear thunder or sudden cold winds start blowing with raindrops of rain or hail, this could be a warning that a guerrilla rainstorm is approaching.
If the weather looks dangerous, you should seek shelter nearby or quickly move to a safer location. NIA is now accepting applications for their Japanese language courses starting in September.
There are 3 types of group lessons available, and you can choose the one that best suits for your schedule and your Japanese level.
The first type of group lesson is held on Monday evenings from 6:30 to 8 p.m. and is offered as elementary and intermediate level lessons.
The second type is held on Thursday mornings from 10:30 a.m. to 12 noon and is offered as basic and elementary level lessons.
And the third type is held on Sunday mornings from 10 to 11:30 a.m. and is offered as intermediate level lessons only.
All of the courses are held in a classroom at NIA, and the fee is only 5,000 yen to 10 lessons.
For more information and details, please visit the NIA website or Facebook pages. Information is included in English.
For applications, consultation services, and any other inquiries, contact NIA at 0798-328680 or send an email to nia@nishi.or.jp.
提供は西宮市国際交流協会でした。
Please keep hydrated and stay safe, everyone. Have a great weekend.